Hello, Sacred Earth friends and family. Michelle here with Sacred Earth, and today I thought I would just hop on and do a little reading for the Libra new moon. I personally have been getting some what we call activations from this new moon, and it's very much this feeling of balancing the heart energies, balancing the divine masculine and the divine feminine, and for me personally, it's been like this very internal process. I've actually felt a really strong need to create and to paint and to do some art, really sinking into a creative space. Before we get started, it's not going to be too long today, but before we get started, I want to talk a little bit about the Libra energy and what is Libra about. So Libra is ruled by Venus, the planet Venus, and it's all about the senses and the aesthetic nature of things, the beauty, you know, and it's in some esoteric traditions, it's, you know, it's the love energy, it's the heart, and so there's a lot of emphasis on the senses, the sensual pleasures. Okay, it also rules Taurus, Venus does, which is all about the senses, but Libra is about the other. So through the Libra energy, we learn about the other, partnership. We learn about the self through the lens of the other. So it's opposite of Aries on the wheel. Aries is the self. I'm hoping we don't get interrupted here. I'm here at the park, and there's people around in cars and things. But anyway, so it is opposite of Aries energy. So on the astrological chart, it's what we call the DC. So it's the descendant, and it is the parts of ourself that we actually disown. We don't necessarily think we embody those traits, and so whatever sign is placed in that house is what we sort of disown in ourselves, or we don't really acknowledge. So through the lens of others, we learn about that aspect of ourselves, okay, depending on what's placed there. So anyway, there's been a lot of activations coming through this new moon. For me personally, so I thought I would share it today. I come on here when I feel compelled to. Sometimes I don't. I just like being in my internal space, but it feels very much like this energy of it's a softening. It's a softening effect. Because when we bring the masculine and the feminine energies into balance, we create that Christ energy, the Christ at heart, and it's like the sacred chamber within the heart, the bridal chamber. Okay, so anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and pull a card from the Doreen Virtue deck, Angels of Abundance. Let's not talk about Doreen Virtue. It's a whole nother topic. Oh my goodness. The decks are amazing. The decks are very beautiful. So, okay, so let me go ahead and pull a card here. So, attracting, not chasing. Okay, great card. Anything or anyone you chase after will run the other way. Because of the fears underlying the chasing energy, instead, attract what you need by sending out love, gratitude, and welcoming energy. And oh my goodness, that is so true, and so what I'm feeling, that there's, you know, we have to really be aware within ourselves of that energy where we're, you know, we're going after things, we're, you know, really trying to accumulate and not just things, but relationships, people, situations, opportunities. And sometimes we have to, in order to restore balance and to pull back from that, you know, overemphasis on the Aries energy, the self, the I, we have to allow things to come to us. It's a receptive nature. It's a receptive thing. It's about being receptive, receptivity. And so that is feminine energy, and it's about just allowing and just letting it flow to you. And that's where the softening is happening, is just taking a step back from, you know, going after things and initiating, which is Aries, into sinking into that Libra space of receptivity. And this is how we bring balance back into our being. Okay, so that's a really great one. Anything you chase, anything or anyone you chase after will run the other way because of the fears underlying the chasing energy. Instead, attract what you need by sending out love, gratitude, and welcoming energy. So, very nice, very beautiful. Okay, awesome. So I'm gonna pull another one from the Angels and Ancestors deck. And I think my battery's getting a little low too, so hopefully we don't cut off here. I'm kind of trying to do this quickly. Okay, Angels and Ancestors deck. Let's see what they have to say about the Libra new moon. Okay. Shield Maiden, make plans and focus. Okay, so with new moon energies, it's always a really good time to make our plans, set our intentions. It's the best time of the lunar cycle. And so this is telling you to make plans and focus on what you want. You know, make a list, write down everything that you want. These are your prayers, okay? All right, so Shield Maiden, make plans and focus. Awesome. Okay, now let's go to this is the Earth Magic deck. I'm gonna pull a card from there. Earth Magic. What does the Earth Magic deck have to say about the Libra new moon? Oh, fog. Veiled. All right, whenever this card comes up, I always get a little concerned. You know, right away I think, oh boy, there's something not seen. So because there's something hidden here, something that is veiled, there's some illusory quality. I always think of the planet Neptune. To this new moon, it's always best to be receptive and to just wait and see what's in store for the future, because we don't have all the answers. We don't know everything, and sometimes being in that receptive place, like that other card was saying, attracting, not chasing, it just means that more has to be worked out and resolved, and more has to be come into being. And it's not a quick process. It's something that, you know, there's a few things that have to be lifted before we can actually manifest that which we desire. So as you're making your new moon intentions, making your list for this Libra new moon, just keep in mind that being patient and waiting and learning to be receptive and just allow the energy to flow. Don't force anything. There's this really message of not forcing, just allowing the fog to lift, and when the fog is lifted, the timing will be right for whatever it is you're intending. Okay, so that's that. And then this one is the Keepers of the Light deck. So let's see what the Keepers of the Light have to say about the Libra new moon. Okay. All right, here we go. Mother Mary, love and peace. Let go of the need to be right. Choose peace. Mother healing is possible at this time. So another thing that's been coming up with this Libra new moon is people being triggered. Okay, there's a lot of triggering going on because, you know, when these divine energies hit the planet, it brings up our wounds, it brings up our stuff, our triggers. And so a lot of people get really triggered during these times of powerful activations. So do not allow yourself to be triggered. There's a lot going on in the world, a lot on the world stage that is triggering people, and as well as personally, in personal relationships. So, you know, the darker forces come out, and they work on other people around us to try to trigger us into polarized states of being. And so Libra energy is balancing out the polarization between, you know, my beliefs, your beliefs, you know, masculine and feminine, I'm right, you're wrong, mind versus heart. And so Mother Mary's here to bring the message of peace and healing and embracing the energy of peace. Okay, that's very much what this Libra new moon is about, restoring balance. The feminine energy is really here, the goddess energy on this planet, to bring us back into balance and to restore peace and to lift up the divine masculine to raise it up into a place of authentic divine masculine, to a place of wholeness and to a place of balance. Because without the feminine energy, it's out of balance, it's distorted, it's patriarchal. And so Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, Mary Magdalene, all the goddesses, they're here to restore that balance. So Mother Mary's energy is very much present, as well as the other Kuan Yin and Mary Magdalene. So those are my three that I really like to work with. So yeah, that's a really super beautiful card. So there's a lot of healing possible right now. Okay, healing that divine feminine energy. All right. So I don't know how long it's gonna last. The video, the power. So anyway, so again, just remember, attracting, not chasing. Make plans and focus. This is a good time for making plans, writing down your intentions, saying your prayers. Just be aware that being in a receptive state, being in a state of waiting and receptivity is a good thing, until the fog is lifted. Things are confusing right now. If you look on our world stage, there's a lot going on. I don't pay too much attention to it, to be honest with you. But I know it's out there. And so I try not to go into those polarized states if I can and not be triggered. I can be triggered. But as we get into our hearts, that the potential to be triggered is much less so. Okay? And finally, Mother Mary, embrace peace. Embrace the energy of love. Embrace the beauty that is around us. Libra's also a sign about diplomacy. It's also a sign of, fairness and justice. And whatever seems so confusing right now, not to worry, that eventually balance will be restored. So justice should not be about retribution. Justice should be about balance being restored, okay? It's about diplomacy, and it's about, just being in the energy of peace, just embracing peace, okay? That's what it's all about. Try not to get too caught up on what's going on, okay? All is not clear. There's stuff going on behind the scenes. On a third dimensional level, in the world of matter, things seem chaotic and crazy. But if we shift our perspective and move into that higher dimensional perspective, we can see above the fog. Things are much clearer. So don't jump to conclusions. Wait for clarity. Okay? All right. Well, thank you. I enjoyed doing that reading. And I just hope you have a very happy Libra new moon. Namaste. Thank you.